Pastor Mickey is gifted, and so is obviously Lim. And in today's climate, you have to be creative. You
Yes.
absolutely have to be creative. And so, listen, for our audience, if you've ever wondered if you could do it, or what would it take, or, how do you bring all this together? I think today's Be Better series entitled Handle Your Business will answer some of those questions. I think that you will be absolutely blessed during this time. So we'll be going back and forth between Pastor Mickey and Lim. And I want to start with you, Pastor Mickey.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to start by asking you, a little bit more about your businesses, being a multi-entrepreneur. You want to talk about the businesses that you currently own and run?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Again, and I have to follow up with Lim about just so grateful for the phone call, because there's so many out there that are pursuing great things, and just to be a part of this moment is a blessing for me. So thank you so much for asking me. I'm not even sure if I'm looking in the right area. So if y'all see me looking everywhere, just know that this part is still new for me, but I'll figure it out by the time we finish. I am, first of all, the founder of A Ladies Touch Ministries. That was definitely something that started all of this. It was actually created or birthed while I served in Iraq in 2005. So that ministry in and of itself is vast. It takes a lot of time, and that is my priority. That is my main goal, is to be able to minister to other women and provide different opportunities for them to grow, to express themselves. And at the same time, I get to promote them. So that's where my passion is. Everything that I do as an entrepreneur, I started from a place of what I love the most. What I love the most, I realized that, I had done that time in 20 years in the Marine Corps. I had did certain things to be able to allow me to, at this time, do what I want to do. And with that, when I started with what I love. And from there, took a moment, because I had to figure out what I loved. I had to figure out who I was. After being a mom and being a Marine and being a wife, I had to figure out what I love to do. And when I figured that out, then I realized from the scriptures that I needed to find and make these things that I love streams of income. Again, from A Ladies Touch Ministries, Mickey's Paper Garden. I love to make paper flowers. It was something I just wanted to do. I had my 25th wedding vow renewal, and all the flowers, with the exception of the flowers in my bouquet, were made from flowers.
And may I interrupt just a moment to say, and they are beautiful. That was beautiful, and your flowers are beautiful. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Fifa. And then also, I took time out because of all the planning and events that take place in ministry. I went ahead and went towards getting my certification in wedding and event planning. So I have Mickey's Wedding and Event Planning. Also, in my pursuit of health, many years ago I started, but sometimes you kind of taper off, but I picked it back up again, and I do Zumba Gold, I do regular Zumba, and I do Zumba Kids.
My.
Yes. I think it's so important that no matter what we do, our physical body needs to be active in some sort of way. And I spent a number of years after retirement not caring much about my body, because I thought I was good. But come to find out, I needed to get back on track. And Zumba was one of the ways I was able to do that. Also, I am a Prepare Enrich marriage facilitator. This goes along with ministry too, because I get the opportunity. I minister with couples, singles. I just minister on a variety of different platforms, and this is one way to structure that for me. Being able to connect with someone who was able to educate me in this area, and realize that not only can I get the information, but I can make it a stream of income. That was amazing for me. So I do that as well. And this is something that I did for about 20 years. I recently renewed my consulting. I I don't know, beauty consultant with Mary Kay. I
Okay.
love Mary Kay. I've always been a fan of the product, and I am my best customer. And
Beautiful.
then I also am a doTERRA essential oils wellness advocate. And that's something that's recently been added to my my platform. You know, being
Right.
able to take it a little bit a step further. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. And then
Yes.
one thing that seems a little odd, but I don't know, it just fell right into play. I am a insurance salesman. I sell final insurance with Lincoln Heritage. So
My,
I
my,
am,
my.
yeah, I'm connected with the Fritz Consulting Group out of
Uh-huh.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
But the concept of being able to pay my final bill played heavy with me. So I wanted to definitely get involved and then share those opportunities with someone else.
Wow. Wow. I'm telling you, you are doing it. And listen, you said something that I even heard Lim respond to when you said, I started with something that I love.
Yes, I
And
started, and I love all of these things. Now, I have to add this real quick before we move on, is that
okay.
not only do I have my own businesses, but I'm also an employee. And I think for me that works well because I get to
Wow.
help finance all of my, businesses. But I'm able to learn certain things. I work as an assistant at Art and Soul Expressions. It's a craft studio. So that helps me when it comes to my wedding event planning. It helps me with my paper
Beautiful.
garden. It gives me exposure, but variety. I get to watch someone else who loves this particular area just as much as I do, or probably even more. But I get to work with her. Then I also get to work with The Spot. It is a Cajun seafood business, and I get to watch the business side, behind the scenes. I get to help behind the scenes, and then up front, I'm actually
Beautiful.
engaging more customers. So I'm learning some skills in that as well. And then I also am a Yoni So Sweet practitioner.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
again, that's working with some women health,
Yes.
and I get to do that one-on-one. All of these, things that I'm doing as an employee, it helps me be a better owner, manager, boss. You know what I mean?
My goodness. Woo, my goodness.
Yeah.
Listen, we've got to come back and talk about a couple of these businesses. But with you having said that you started with where you love,
Yes.
and as I said, we both ended up saying, wow, because that's just such a profound statement.
Yeah.
I want to jump over here to Lim, who is, as I said earlier, the creator of 24/7 CEO.
Yeah.
And Lim, I want you to talk about that platform, if you will, because here we're hearing Pastor Mickey and all the businesses that she is either owning, managing, working, or serving as an employee under. And then here your platform speaks to all the CEOs, the 24. Lim, talk to us about that.
Okay, awesome. So basically, how I started it, just because I had a general love and passion for entrepreneurship.
Right.
I started my entrepreneurship journey in college, my freshman year.
Okay.
Near the spring semester. I was always mentored because I was always like a musician at first. I only did music, I didn't do anything else, but I played bass. I went to college, and studied music. I was a music major, and then I had a mentor, that was teaching me about music business. He was a music business person. Like, he was a guru. He knew about the contracts, getting gigs, and I was so intrigued by the business side of music. So, I started learning about how to book gigs myself. Just hanging out with him, just learning from him. And then my spring year as well, I thought about starting like music school. So after I left college and went back home, I started my first business at age 20 years old, which is my first actual music school, which still just to this day. And then because I love music business, I started my own booking agency.
Wow.
A few years later. So all that just shows you, you know, I had a love for entrepreneurship, and I just love the process of becoming an entrepreneur. I love the drive for it. You know, it's not really about, you know, like, you know, making like $1 million. I love the mindset of trying to do something that's gonna change the whole generation. So so I'm gonna say about 7 months ago, you know, just God just gave me a vision to create something that's gonna help people that's like you. You know, that are probably going through the same thing that you went through as a beginning entrepreneur. Create something that's gonna advocate for entrepreneurship, especially small businesses. So that day, you know, like me, I move fast. You know, I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing, but like when God gives me a vision to start something,
Right.
I'm already writing it down.
Right.
I'm making phone calls. It takes 2 minutes, and I'm making phone calls. I'm doing research. I'm on it because me, if I sleep on it, I will not do it. It won't happen.
Right.
Especially if you actually running 2 physical studios and music school, you can easily get, you know, off track. But the fact that I generally move like that, so I got to work. I created a platform about 7 months ago. It started off good. Whereas at I think our first month we reached about 800 new members. You know? So I was pushing it, but then, you know, life happened. You know, I was doing gigs, I was doing music business, so I got busy with business. But it's interesting how God used this pandemic and quarantine to make you focus on your real purpose. Not that anything else I'm doing is not, you know, God's calling as well.
Right.
There is something about the motives of that platform. It wasn't about me making money. It was about my general love for entrepreneurship and trying to help entrepreneurs.
Right.
It was about me giving back, bringing value, you know. So he kind of just, hey, Lim, push this platform. People right now are in quarantine. Businesses are shut down. They need income, out of job. They need you. They're calling your name. Go push this platform. I'm like, nah, come man. I don't feel like doing this. Listen, and at the time I was getting into Forex. You know, I was broke. I lost because of quarantine. My music school shut down. My booking agency shut down as well. So all my streams of income that were through music were gone.
Wow.
You know, I was so God was telling me to go post on the platform. So that day I just went and posted on the platform. You know, like, you know, because me, I'm a motivational speaker. So I always post up that's like motivational quotes.
Right.
So I posted something and people were, you know, like they were sharing it, they were liking it. And every day, I started posting every day, you know, and one day was getting like 1,000 like followers, then 2,000. Every day was getting over 1,000 followers that joined the page because of the quotes I was posting. Entrepreneurs were finding value in just in the page motives, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like over time it grew to thousands. In 1 month it gained 17K. So it jumped from 800 followers to 20.2K.
My.
And the whole motive of the page was to create something that's gonna help entrepreneurs not only network and advertise for free, but also stay motivated. Because I told you I love to motivate. You know, stay motivated. To learn. You know, learn from others. Get more sales. So yeah, man. It just I had a passion to help entrepreneurs, and people have been impacted. Like people inbox me all the time saying, hey Lim, this platform is helping me. Thank you so much for creating this. You know, and I'm just thrilled because my thing is that I do this just to make money most of the time, and this was something different. It was something where I was doing it because I wanted to help somebody out.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things that I'm hearing from both of you, and I really hope our audience is picking up on this. There's some key things that both of you said. Number one, you know, I heard Pastor Mickey. I started with what I love. Many times people are looking for something to do, looking for an opportunity to develop another stream of income, but they don't begin with what they love. And so I think that's very important that you begin there. And there was something else that I heard you say, Lim, and that was you did not sleep on it. Oh my God. How many times has God
That
given
was
us
good.
something? Wasn't that good? How
Yes,
many
ma'am.
times has God given us something and we was like, oh, I'll remember that? No, he took action immediately. He wrote it down. He started putting the thing together. Because there's a saying that we used to say, you snooze, you lose.
You lose, right?
Oh my goodness. So, and what he did is biblical. You know,
Yeah.
he heard the voice of God. He didn't sleep on it. He wrote it down. And the scripture tells us to write down the vision and make it plain so they who see it can run with it. Well, who's going to see it? You are, because you wrote it down, because it's the vision that God gave you. But something else you said, and it piggybacked with what Pastor Mickey said. And that is, you use your platform to motivate. And I listened to her talk about not just the businesses that she owns, but how she turns around and serves as an employee in someone else's business.
Mm-hmm.
This is awesome, because when you look to build a brand, build a business of something of that nature, and I believe if you are especially a believer, the final income, you'll be rewarded, of course, compensated for it, but it's something that you should consider. If I wasn't being paid, would I still do it? And that's why I like a Better Me empowerment. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I absolutely love it, because it gives me an opportunity to encourage other people, to build them up in their business, to share the wisdom or the education that I've received. And in fact, you know, I'm glad to announce that I actually just recently became a certified professional coach. And so I'm so excited about those opportunities that are there as well. But I want to ask you all just a couple more. In fact, I want to ask both of you the same question. And Pastor Mickey, I'll let you go first. And my question is, do you believe entrepreneurs are born or made? And based on your answer, why?
I'm going to say both.
Okay.
Okay. Not for fear of giving the wrong answer at all.
Right.
But I'm going to say both. Born, I believe that God puts passion and desire in all of us because we're destined to do something great in the earth that represents Him. So innately, I believe that there are those who are gifted to get out there, grab a hold of ideas and concepts and make it manifest. But then I also believe that you could be made as well as an entrepreneur. Let me say this. Sometimes we can do some things out, not because we want to, but because we have to.
That's good. That's good.
We have to make something happen. And I believe that those who find themselves in certain positions that, you know what, when they hear the voice of the Lord, they have to jump on it. Let me give you an example. There was a lady that the prophet came to, and you know, all I got is a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and we're gonna put this together, and me and my baby, we're gonna go ahead and transition and meet the Lord. Well,
one of my favorite scriptures.
You know, and then there's this one where this lady says, you know, all I have is this. He said, the oil, go get some jugs, borrow some pots, you know. And in both situations, it was a matter of a need. Something was going on that they had to make something happen.
Yes.
And it was from there that the woman didn't run out of oil. And it was from there that not only was the woman and the child was able to eat, but eat continually. And I think that both situations, it wasn't something from birth that they thought about, but it was a matter that they met a need and God manifested something. So I believe that, especially during COVID-19, this season that we've been in, I believe that there have been some creative insights and things that God has put in individuals during this time that has caused for people to say, wait a minute, I can do this. I don't have to do this for someone. I can do this for myself.
That's good.
And watch God turn it, because I have been more active and I hate using the word busy, but more attentive to business things during COVID-19.
Right.
At a time
Right.
where the world was experiencing unemployment
Mm-hmm.
or their hours being
Oh man.
reduced. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
experience that because, first of all, I started with something I love,
Right.
and with it, I fell in love with what I produced.
Mm. Beautiful.
Yeah, I
Beautiful.
was able to fall
Beautiful.
in love with that. So I think innately we have it, and then at the
Uh-huh.
same time, I think life creates and demands us to get out and do something different.
Yes, yes, totally agree with both of your responses. I'm going to go to Lim, but I want to interject here. What you said ties in with something that he said, and that, here he had these businesses and COVID-19 showed up and he lost them.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've found, and obviously, based on what you just said, you concur, and Lim, I'm sure, would agree that, you know what, sometimes the best or the greatest creation of abundance can come out of the most of famine.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
oh, oh,
yeah, you can be in a famine.
oh.
If you lend your ear, point your ear towards the Lord, he'll
Mhm.
turn around and cause you to create abundance, by the putting of your hands to the plow and hearing what he's saying and following the leading of his spirit. So that's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes, ma'am. Can I say this real quick, Pastor?
Sure, sure.
I'm in, actually, I just did a part 2, and this is definitely serious. It's going to last a couple of months. And I've been granted the opportunity to minister during our Bible study time on Wednesday nights. And the overreaching theme is all in, before, during, and after a famine.
Woo-hoo. That's what
And
I'm
I'm here
talking
to
about.
tell you, when God told Isaac to go ahead and plant in a land that, first of all, he wasn't even a citizen of. And it said
Right.
in that same year, he recovered 100-fold. Listen,
Can you say that again? In that what?
in that same time, in
Come
that
on,
same
come on,
year,
come on. What can you say it just one more time?
in that same year, he recouped 100-fold. But he was told to do something that didn't look right in the natural. He was told to sow in a ground that was documented as being a famine.
Wow.
And I believe that, we talk about 2020. Oh, God has opened our eyes to so many things, but one of them is, what can our hands do for him?
Oh, that's so good. That's good stuff. Thank you
And
for sharing
yeah,
that, Pastor Mickey. Thank you so much. I'm going to come back to you. I do know that Lim will be leaving us shortly, but I do want to give him the opportunity to address that same question. Do you believe entrepreneurs are born or made, and why?
First of all, I think Mickey read my mind. I don't know how she did it. I don't know what spirit that she dug into, but she read it and she was on point with it. 1,000. I definitely agree. I think it's both. It's definitely both, because I think some people are born, with that passion and drive. Give me a minute. You hear me?
Uh-huh.
Some people are born like with that drive in them.
Right.
Some people, like, they have to find it. Sometimes it's experience that creates entrepreneurs.
Right.
Like some people would work 9-to-5 jobs and like on like all their lives, and they get fired and they realize, you know what, this isn't for me. I need to become an entrepreneur. Where some of them may have watched their parents become entrepreneurs and are born into it, and it's in their heart, and they just, and like you said, they could just create systems and it just work.
Right.
Business, have idea, and it's work. It hustle. They sell skills on point. Like that. But some people have to go through experiences like quarantine.
Right.
That's why I say, I felt in my spirit, God was telling me to start the page back because of quarantine. There was a need for it. People were at home and were stressing. In the platform alone, I'm gonna say hundreds of entrepreneurs were born in that platform. You had a 16-year-old become an entrepreneur in that platform because of the content on the page.
Wow.
So I feel like God was telling me, Lim, go post in that platform. People in this season, they need you. They need you. And like, I didn't really understand it until I actually started seeing people actually become entrepreneurs because of the content. Because listen, people are at home generally stressed out. They got no money. They're on Facebook, and me posting the content, people got got different business ideas and network. People literally became entrepreneurs for the first time ever during quarantine. So you know, so it's definitely sometimes certain situations can captivate you and make you become an entrepreneur.
Right. I believe it.
Isn't that good?
And each way, each route is good routes. Like, it doesn't matter because that same person could actually learn the skill and master and evolve to that premium entrepreneur. So I agree with her. I think it's definitely both. I think you could be born with it, and it could be something that's actually through a situation. You know, because me, I wouldn't say I was born with it. You know, I was born a pastor's kid and a musician. After that, you know, being an entrepreneur never came to my mind until 20 years old. And that was because of a situation, you know.
Right.
You know, I felt like, you know, I was worth more than a college degree. You
better say that.
I felt like a college degree was not going to pay me like what I'm worth. I'm not worth $40K a year teaching music. I'm worth millions. You know, so like, and also I actually left my job because I didn't feel like being bossed around. So I just felt like it was a situation that kind of craved me. And also, I told you, I had a music business mentor that I watched in college. I seen how you ran business. Like my parents weren't entrepreneurs; they were all ministers, pastors. That's what I knew. So I was the person that turned to entrepreneur later. I was like, I wasn't born to me, but I did learn the skill very quick and actually go passionate in it. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it could be learned and it could be something that I'm actually born with as well.
Wonderful. Well, you know, I just truly believe that those who have an inspiration to do something, they're being challenged in a good way this evening, because what you all are sharing, I'm telling you, if I was not an entrepreneur, I would be looking into it. I absolutely would. Because what you all have shared just in the short time we've been together is simply, you know, start with what you love. Let's just start there. Start with what you love. And I know some people don't always agree with that, but for someone who is not an entrepreneur, who's never been an entrepreneur, that I would say that would be a great place for them to start. I started looking down at my family lineage and realized that my grandfather was a farmer and he sold to his community. And, you know, my mother was a playwright and she had her own theatrical ensemble. And then I started looking at others in my family and I'm like, it's a part of who we are. All of the children are in some way tapping into their entrepreneurial skills. I'm amazed even at when one of my nephews was probably only about 4 or 5 years old. He loved collecting newspapers, books. I mean, he did that all the time. And whenever his siblings or his cousins would ask to read a book, he would rent it out to them. At 5 years old, he would charge them a dime to read his book. And if they did not return it on time, he charged them a fee. I'm like, talking about an entrepreneur. Listen, he would charge them to read the newspaper. And they would be like, you didn't buy it. Your mom or your dad bought it. He said, but so.
Exactly.
So one of the things you mentioned, Lim, and I do want you and Pastor Mickey to address this, because we have such awesome young people in this earth. And I would imagine that now we're here in summer. School term did not go as we had expected it to. Things were a little different. And even for the parents who are having to go back to work, perhaps there's something that you all can share that can help them spark the entrepreneurial spirit in their child or children, and do it as a project that they can work on all summer long. Because one thing we know is once you start a business, you have to tend to the business. You can't let it just, you know, fall by the wayside. So would you all address that, please? What would you say to a parent, and even to a young teenager or preteen who's thinking, you know what, I can do something, where would you suggest they begin?
Um, I'm I love that topic because I'm a young entrepreneur. I'm only 24 years old, so I can relate to this generation of entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it starts, with something that we kind of don't really take serious. It's the school system. The school system kind of teaches everyone there's only one route to be successful in life. And I'm gonna say all the times, they teach us, like get good grades, go to college, work for somebody else. You know, I didn't learn about entrepreneurship until I was 20 years old because I wasn't exposed to it. It wasn't a thing to me. You know, like
Exposure.
LLC credit, licensing, own your own business, like even trade didn't exist to me. Learning skill set. I learned about you're gonna pass these classes, you're gonna do good in school, you're gonna get a job and make 40K a year for somebody, and then retire, and that's it. I learned off growing up and seeing it. And like we're in a generation where people have access to the internet and Google and they can become entrepreneurs at a young age. But I feel like the school system should have entrepreneurship courses and give you options. Like we shouldn't be forced to this is the route. Like we should have options. Okay, like should I go to college or should I be an entrepreneur? And that's why I feel like parents should give their kids options, teach them about other stuff they could do, like trades, because some kids aren't meant to go to college. School is not for everybody. Some kids cannot stay in the classroom. Some kids are ready to make money now, today. Like God gave them the skill set to make money now. You got to invest in them as a parent and teach them about like getting a license. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important that the school system have entrepreneurship type classes. Even if it's like a group or like an after school program, something where people can actually learn about the things that I'm learning as a 20-year-old through trial and error too, towards making mistakes, bad credit, and not knowing this and finding out this. If they learn that at age 15 years old, I'm telling you, by 18 years old, they'll already be on their way. But no, the school, wants you to just go to college. And I feel like that's not fair that we're all being taught that there's only one route. That's not right. I feel like parents and teachers in the system should be held accountable to not just say go to college, but say go to college, but say, or you could do this, or get a trade, or go to the army. Not go to college, do that, and that's it.
That's good.
There should be other options. So I feel like we need to teach entrepreneurship to like the kids, at an early age. Not force it, but teach it.
That's good. Ooh,
that's my opinion on that.
Good. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Well, Pastor Mickey, you just jumped right on in there.
Yes, ma'am. I am that one that took the educational route as well as went the military route. And then at the same time, I'm one that I'm a proponent of education, no matter what route you go. So what I did, and matter of fact, this is going to answer the question on my end, is two words, investment and exposure. I deal with exposure first because one of the things that my husband and I wanted to make sure that our son knew that there's more to learn other than high school, because we grew up in a household that the goal was to graduate high school. If you can graduate high school without having children, you in there, and but there's more education available. You can learn, there's more outlets than just stopping at high school and getting a local job. So what we did was we went back to school. So while he was in school, we were in school, and we were able to get our secondary degrees along with him. So he saw the importance of being educated in whatever area you wanted to be in.
Beautiful.
But with that, we exposed him to education, but we also had to invest in what he really wanted to do. And we spent, that time, it shifted over time. And that's what I would tell any parent, go all in with your children. When they have an interest in something, just go all in.
Beautiful.
I would say it's just money, but it's just money. In other words, if it's going into your seed, you shouldn't have a problem with it.
Right, right.
So
right.
going and investing monetarily, investing with your time, and then this one is so true even now that Donovan is out of school now and he's working and he's still looking for those areas that he really want to plant his foot in. Is support. He, as long as he knows that mama is supporting him, Donovan can jump from one thing this month and another thing that month. You know, what he does know, you got to go to school. What he does know is that you got to invest in what you want to do. It's going to cost money to make money. You know, you're going to have to get out there and resow what you make to grow. You know, so these were things that Bishop and I was able to just be there to expose him to different things.
Beautiful.
And then we had to invest in him. So I would tell any parent, don't look at it as if it's a fad that they're going through. No, because you never know what's going to catch fire.
Beautiful.
You never know what is going to catch fire. So if they're interested in something, expose them to others who are doing similar things, you know, and then let them know you are there to support them. If it fails, you just learned a way not to do it. Keep going. Get back up. Get back up and do it again, you know. But letting them know that, you know, in today's society, there are some things that are very important. There are things that you got to learn. There's things that, you know, we have to do. Right. And just like my husband told me when I wanted to stay at home with Donovan when he was a little bit baby, he said, sure, stay at home. Go ahead. Just know on the first of the month, rent is due. So I had to get out there and do something. And that's the same thing we wanted to make sure our son and anyone else know. You got to get out there and put your hands to something, because nothing's going to come for free. And you can't expect people to just do for you when you're not willing to do for yourself.
Ooh, that is so good. Let me tell you. Oh my goodness, both of you, again, you're bringing out some great points. I will say to you that I agree with you both. And I can look back on my life where, you know, I grew up where there were very limited options. I remember saying to my mom one day, you know, I don't think I want to go to school. And she said, well, why not? And I said, I just don't think. I said, I really think I want to go in the military. I think I want to go in the Army. And she said, well, you've got two choices. And I said, what are they? She said, you can go to a college or you can go to a university. What? I ain't say what to her. I'm like, excuse me? She said, those are your options. You can go to a college or you can go to a university. I'm like, okay. So, but here's the deal. When I went to college, I was only 16 years old.
Wow.
And so I was very young. But so I did not finish then. I finished, but I did not finish then. And what I later learned, and my mother agreed later, that I lacked the maturity to go away. I needed that environment of a little bit more discipline and structure. But many years later, I went back and I finished and got my undergraduate degree. So, but in the era which she grew up, you know, if you were in a position to go, that was, and her being an educator, that was the thought of the day. So, you know, I agree with you, Pastor Mickey, that whatever it is that our children aspire to do, we need to be right there with them. We need to be their biggest cheerleaders. We need to be the ones that are just saying, listen, as you said, okay, so if you missed it on this mark, it's okay. You've now learned what not to do the next day. Lim, I also agree with, you know, there are some different avenues that we have available to us. But even at a young mind, there still, I believe, needs to be some form of guidance because it can help forego some derailments that may happen later on just because there was not any guidance. So listen, I know Lim is going to be leaving us shortly, and then I want to jump back on with Pastor Mickey because there are a couple of other things that I like to ask her. But before I give him an opportunity to wrap up and make some last comments before he leaves. Lem, I tell you what I'd like to do, and I want to offer this to your platform. I'm actually going to be doing a free webinar for entrepreneurs, and it's going to be on Tuesday, June the 30th at 7:30 p.m. And if any of those of you who are on Lem's platform or other platforms are interested in attending this free webinar, you can send a text now, and you're going to text ABME web, one word, ABME web. That's a better me empowerment web, one word, WEB. And you're going to text that to 22999. 22999. Want to sew this into your life. So again, you can go ahead and send a text to ABME web to 22999. Lim, you're doing a great work on your platform. You know, you've got a bunch of folk cheering you on. And most importantly, because you have a solid relationship with the Lord, you already know that's your biggest cheerleader. But before you leave, I want to give you an opportunity to just address our viewing audience and leave a thought of wisdom or whatever you have on your heart with them. Go right ahead.
Well, just to close out, I want to tell everyone as entrepreneurs, just to understand the biggest accomplishment that you already done in your life as an entrepreneur is not the money you made, it's the fact that you decide to become an entrepreneur. That by itself is a huge step. It takes a lot to actually make that decision. Well, I'm becoming an entrepreneur. So give yourself like a hand of claw, just for being one, number one. And also, like during these times, spend time understanding and learning like from your business. Like use quarantine as a lesson for you to learn how could I use my business to make wealth where even if the government shuts down, I'm still making money. You know, quarantine should have taught you a lesson. You know, I think everyone should learn how to adjust, number one, how to always have money. So a stimulus check won't pay your bills. That's what I'm learning. Now. I'm learning. My business shut down because of quarantine, and I felt like it was over. But God told me, you know, learn how to adjust.
Learn how to adjust.
Make your business adjust, or if not, pick a different business. Whether it's selling online, that's going to always make money. Have multiple streams of income. It's not he's cool because it's not about being cool. It's a must. And like in today's world, you must have at least 7 years of income, like just to live. You know what I'm saying? So focus on getting extra income. Learn a skill. No one could ever fire you from your skill. If you're your skill set, no one could fire you. No one could say, "Hey, you're fired as a hairstylist." No, fired. That's your skill set. Who's gonna fire you? Wow. Your skill set will always make financial room for you. And that's why I was thinking, you know, God gave me the skill of music because even though before I was a business owner, I was a musician and I was only making money, you know, as a contractor by myself. So learn a skill set, you know, and definitely learn from quarantine experience. Like take advantage to, if you're not in business right now, get into business, get on. Because right now the world is evolving around entrepreneurship. And if you don't join, you'll be one of them. Listen, if you don't join, you're going to work for an entrepreneur. Is either you're going to be an entrepreneur or work for one. 2 options. Be one or work for one. Me, I'm going to be one. Well, you pick. So I have some announcements actually have.
Yes.
The platform, like I said, right now the platform is on fire. We're averaging 1,000 new ads a day. We're at 20.2K. We have some great stuff coming out. Some stuff that I can't even speak of yet because it's so powerful. I just gotta hold it in. You know, I gotta myself, you know, that's speak early. But right now, I'm starting a mentoring program. You know, for like new entrepreneurs. You know, just to kind of sow some more personally one-on-one with people that need that extra motivation. It's set to launch in about 2 weeks.
Beautiful.
So if you're interested, it's very affordable. It's only $20, per sessions. If it was up to me, it'll be completely free. Because I love giving entrepreneurs back. But God, happened to open the door for me where I got over 100 leads that want to mentor by me. So I had to create it to actual business. But that's all God just providing. So definitely take advantage of that. It's gonna be epic. We got a series called Business Buzz. As you see over here, we just got like a brand new building. We're doing like a podcast setup right here, as you see.
Beautiful.
So,
Beautiful.
our podcast is about to drop pretty soon. But I think in July, like mid-July. So definitely check us out. We have a lot of things that's going on. Our platform is predicated towards entrepreneurship. So if you're an entrepreneur, even if you're not an entrepreneur, I'm telling you, entrepreneurs were born on our platform. We have a 16-year-old that became an entrepreneur on our platform. Even if you do nothing, you just a regular person, join this platform. I'm telling you, you'll be inspired.
That is awesome.
Wow.
Wow, you all heard it from Lim. He is the creator of 24/7 CEO. If you're not following him, I want to invite you to follow him. Again, Lim, the creator of 24/7 CEO. Lim, it's been great having you as a part of our Be Better, Handle Your Business topic today, a part of the Better Me Empowerment series. Thank you for being a part. And thank you again for joining us last week. We didn't give you, you didn't have a lot of time last week because it was so many of us, we were picking up and taking in. Again, I want to offer to those of you out there, he has some opportunities available. He's going to mentor, he has a mentoring program. So go over to his Facebook page and take a look at it. And then if you're interested in the webinar, the free webinar for entrepreneurs that will take place on June 30th at 7 p.m., you can text ABME Web to 22999. Lim, we'll be getting together again. Thank you for joining us.
We appreciate so much for having me on. I appreciate you greatly.
All right, God bless
Bye,
you.
Lim. It's a pleasure meeting you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Bless you. Pastor Mickey.
Yes, ma'am.
Hasn't that been great?
That was good to me. I got notes scribbled all over my pad.
And me both, but I've got to pull from you a little bit more. Okay. I must do so. You've identified several businesses that you have, and I think probably about maybe 5 of the 10 you've named, I have been a customer of yours.
Yes,
the Noni So Sweet, the insurance, what is the essential oils called? Terra?
Essential oil, doTERRA.
doTERRA, Mary Kay.
Yes.
I'm trying to think what the paper. In fact, I have sitting on my table, my dining room table, the most beautiful, refreshing bouquet that you made for me. And it is beautiful. I want to tell the audience, listen, if you want someone to add some touch to your home with accessories, especially flowers, you want to reach out to Pastor Mickey. But Pastor Mickey, would you share, and I guess I'm going to ask you to share doTERRA because it's one of your latest, and I love it. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I'll talk about just a little bit,
Okay.
I tell you, I've learned that with the businesses that the Lord allowed me to be able to open and partake in, every last one of them had to touch me personally. And when I got involved in doTERRA, actually essential oils, let me start there, essential oils.
Okay.
I would hear a lot of things about them. I would see them everywhere. No matter what store I went to, I saw the essential oils. And I would start to kind of read up on them a little bit, but I didn't know that there were different grades. I didn't know the difference, but if something was synthetic and how it would affect me physically. And I went through a health concern last year. And some of the reports weren't coming back the way they should, you know, and I confess that, you know, I want to walk around in that Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2 body. You know, I want to walk around health and whole. Well, some of the reports were coming back, and the reports that were coming back had everything to do with what I was doing. What I was doing, what I was inflicting on myself. So I had to learn that, you know, if either I'm gonna be healthier or I'm gonna not experience the life I can. And so it came to dealing with the weight, it came dealing with the blood sugar level, it came to deal with inflammation. Well, I found out that the oils can help with that, more natural routes, because I promise you, Pastor Angie, I had a basket full of medications, you know, different medication for this and this and that. And if you watch one commercial about medication, you're going to hear the side effects. Right. So you got a medication to handle the side effects. And it just got to a point that my throat got tired of swallowing. Okay. I just got tired of trying to make sure I'm taking this, and this, when it's something that I can do to change it. And one of those things, in other than, you know, the exercising and the eating properly and getting a proper rest, was the essential oils. And when I noticed that, wait a minute, this is a natural oil that I can consume, but when I bought certain oils, I couldn't consume it, and I couldn't figure it out. Well, I got in touch with a doTERRA wellness advocate, and she just began to shed some light on some things. And I did some research about the product, and I'm still doing research. I'm still learning about it. But what I did realize is that once I received my own essential oils from doTERRA and started taking them and partaking them in, you know, partaking with them myself, I started to see the difference. I started, even when it came to just adding 1 drop of lemon essential oil into my water, I would drink more water. Wow. It was something very simple. Right. And like I said before, I already had the desire to be, you know, to have the oils, but then I realized that at this point in my life, this stage of my life, I can't just do something for sake of doing it. I got to be able to take it, shift it in such a way that, number one, I'm able to make a residual income from it. But most of all, I'm able to help somebody else. Every last one of my businesses are involved with helping somebody else. It's a servant hood that has to come out of me no matter what. I got to be able to help somebody, even when it comes to Mary Kay. I mean, no, makeup doesn't make the person, but when you can see someone who doesn't know how to apply it, learn how to apply it to complement, they are completely different. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it could be something as small as that. So, and that's where essential oils took me to a place to where it's not only was I able to use it for myself and experience the benefits, but now I've taken it to that next level to become a wellness advocate to help someone else. And that's from, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
That's from my own health benefits. Also, when it comes to skincare, when it comes to even items that you use to clean your home. Right. We're in a time now that a lot of people just don't want the chemicals of old. Right. Right. You know, I'm guilty. I got that nose. I want to smell pine oil and Clorox. This nostril's for pine oil. This one's for Clorox. But when it comes to your health, and I'm really learning this. Let me tell you, I'm really learning this from my spiritual mom, Elaine Daniels, where she's gone natural in a lot of things. And so, you know, in the conversations of past, I listen. You know, I'm not there fully in everything, but I'm listening and I'm learning. Right. And then on that entrepreneurial side, you know, I listen to my mom. I have to talk to Mary Covington and see what you're doing down there in Alabama, you know, and just pressing hard to make things work. So I got the best of 2 worlds that I'm able to glean from to be a better wellness advocate and everything else.
Well, I tell you what, in fact, you see what I have right here. I have been, thank you for my gift. This book is so good.
I love it.
And like you know, I want the better quality of life from
Mhm.
a natural perspective,
Yes.
and making the necessary changes so that I can be better, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
learning to be self-empowered, if you will, by
That's
doing the
really
research.
good. Yeah.
Mhm. And putting the work in. So thank you. And I have to tell you, I was speaking with one of my spiritual daughters one day this week. She fell in my heart, and I just sent her a text, and she was telling me that, you know, she was at home, wasn't, you know, had left work early, and then I was just telling her something she could do, and then she mentioned about the oils, and that she's using the same oils that you referenced, and so I
Yay!
thought, oh, what a blessing. So a couple of nights ago, Bishop and I were sitting on the back, and
Mhm.
just evening fellowship, and within 20 minutes, I did not realize it until we came in that I had been bitten by an insect.
Oh, wow.
And after I went to bed, I was like, what is that? That's swelling around my heel. And so I looked at it and realized that I'd been bitten by an insect. And
Uh-huh.
so I put the essential oil
Yes, ma'am. Get you some
on
tea
it.
tree.
And that's the one I should have used, was the tea tree, but I put the essential oil on it. And then, you know, talking about pulling things from your mother, though mine has transitioned to be with the Lord, and the use of turmeric. Honey, I went and got some turmeric, made a paste, and put that up
Yes.
there as well. And can I tell you that that thing has just gone,
Yes,
praise the Lord.
ma'am.
So there are some natural things that we can do. And I have noticed when it comes to your businesses, and I think I shared this with you, how it's because somebody else may say, wow, that's a lot of businesses
Mm-hmm.
that she's
Mm-hmm.
working, but they
Mm-hmm.
all just kind of flow. They have a
They
flow
connect.
to them. They
Yes.
connect. That's the word. They
Mm-hmm.
connect. And so listen, for those of you who are watching, if you are planning a wedding or an event, and you know, and it's down the road, you need to get in contact with Pastor Mickey. If
Call me.
you are wanting to learn more about the essential oils, or something about insurance, or the Noni So Sweet, which is just absolutely wonderful, you need to get in contact with her. If you want to get fit, she does Zumba. Get in contact with her. And there's so much more. So, Pastor Mickey, would you please share with the audience how they can get in contact with you?
Well, the best way to get in touch with me is you can contact me via Facebook. A Lady's Touch is my page. It's still under construction. I'm still working on some things, but you can DM me on A Lady's Touch, or you
Beautiful.
could DM me on Nikki Smith. Either way, and you'll see my picture come up on both, and just send me a message and we'll pick up from there. We'll pick up from there.
Beautiful.
I am working on my website to be able to connect each stream, and that is
Wonderful.
one stop. You go there, and whether you can click on the link to go to Mary Kay, click on the link to have questions about insurance, click on the link for Zumba. I'll do private classes to I'm getting ready to start my face-to-face or open class at the end of the month. And
Wonderful.
and just ask me those questions. That's the quickest way. You can email me at Mickey Smith 501 at gmail.com. Mickey
Hmm.
Smith 501 at gmail.com.
And
And
that's
either way,
Mickey.
Mickey, the male spelling, but I'm all girl. So yeah,
Beautiful.
and that's really the quickest way to get in touch with me. And I have to say this, after listening to Lim and watching you develop in all of the better me aspects, you know, I'm just gonna have to sit it on down and start doing some Facebook Live and doing some Zooms, because I tell you, I have enjoyed, you know, being a part of someone else's, but it's time for me to go ahead and do that. I've always been just kind of leery, but I'm ready to start that too. So
Go for it, because one thing I will tell you is that there is an audience waiting to hear your voice and
Oh,
to be able to receive from you the gifts that the Lord has placed on the inside of you. So
oh,
go for it, do it.
yes,
And if
ma'am.
there's
I'm gonna do.
anything I can do to help you, let me know. Well, are there any final words you'd like to share with the audience?
Final words. I cannot follow Lim in his final words whatsoever. I mean, that was amazing. Um, if I could say anything regarding entrepreneurship, know your worth.
Oh, that's so good right there.
Yeah, know your worth. Um, it was at the beginning when I first started stepping out. The hardest thing for me was to put a price on what I could do.
hmm hmm
And um, so it was easy to just do it for free
Right.
because I didn't know my worth. I didn't know what, I didn't know how um, what I could do could benefit someone else that they're willing to exchange.
hmm
And
hmm
um, it started with me knowing my own self-value. Then from there, I was able to put a monetary amount on the things that I do. So it's twofold: know your worth
Uh-huh.
as a woman, as a man, as an individual with creative insight and ability and understanding of certain things. Just like Lim said about developing and learning your skill.
That's
You
it.
spent time learning this or developing it. Know what it's worth, and know that just because somebody says no doesn't mean that the other person is going to say no,
Right.
and it doesn't mean that that person that said no is going to keep on saying no.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, that is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Mm-mm.
So good. Wow. Well, I appreciate it. Pastor Mickey, one of our audience members has asked for you to repeat your email address. Would you do
Okay,
that for them again, please?
I sure will. MICKEYSMITH, that's Mickey Smith 501 at gmail.com.
Fantastic, fantastic. Listen, I'm always blessed to be in your company.
Same here.
I just appreciate you. You're such a mighty, mighty, mighty woman of God, and that's how you are. Whether we're talking business or whether we're talking life,
Yeah.
very much appreciated. I want to invite those of you before we go off to we've expanded our Better Me community. So excited about that. And so you can actually join our text community by texting ABME, ABME to 22999.
You
Texting
forgot web.
well, the web is for the webinar.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, yes. But if
Okay.
you just, thank you for bringing that out though. If you just want to be a part of our community where you'll hear about webinars and upcoming events and whatnot, you just simply text ABME to
Okay.
22999. If you'd like to attend the free webinar, which is going to be held June the 30th at 7:30 p.m., it's for entrepreneurs, then you would text ABME Web, one word, to again 22999. I invite you to do that. We're expanding the Better Me. Of course, we are waiting for our rescheduled date for the summit. And let me tell you, nothing stops a good plan and something
Woo!
that is of the will of the Lord. So yes,
Yes.
we're still looking forward to it. We had a surge scheduled for August the 8th. We will still do a surge this year, but it will be via Zoom. I'll be sending you information where you can register for that. So again, you want to join that texting community. And then of course, our segments, the Facebook Lives. And next week, I have a great group of people that will be on as well. This whole summer is called Be Better Series. And today, we focused on handling your business. All summer long, we're going to be dealing with health, wealth, family, and future. So we invite you
Yes.
to join in. Pastor Mickey was awesome as always. And then again, I am actually relaunching because I've expanded the A Better Me empowerment. So go ahead, if you haven't, like our Facebook page, because soon that will be a private group. But I am also going to be offering some one-on-one video by way of video coaching sessions. And so if you're interested, then let us know. I have been blessed to have had Lim, who is the creator of 24/7 CEO, and my B5 pastor, Mickey Smith. She and her husband pastor at New Beginnings Church in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and they are also streaming their services. What is your church's website address, or where can they find you all?
They can find us at New Beginnings Christian Center. If they just put that in, we should come up in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Also, our website is www.nbccjaxnc.org. That's nbccjaxnc.org.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then again, for all the businesses that Pastor Mickey has, you know, I would venture to say of all that she's has to offer, there's something just for you. Hey, thank you for being a part of our audience today. Again, I thank you, Pastor Mickey. It is important that you and I and all others continue to work on being a better me, because a better me is for you.